1. Brown sugar, the insulin spike you don't see coming. It starts with just a spoonful, a little brown sugar sprinkled over your oatmeal, just enough to make it taste a little sweeter, a little more comforting. You've told yourself it's harmless. After all, it's not soda, it's not candy, it's just oatmeal, right? But here's the hard truth, that one spoonful, especially after the age of 60, can quietly set off a chain reaction your body isn't equipped to handle like it used to. You see, brown sugar might look more natural than white sugar, but your body doesn't care what color it is. It processes both the same way. And once that sugar hits your system, it causes a rapid spike in blood glucose, followed by a crash. That crash is what leaves you feeling tired mid-morning, craving another snack, and wondering why you just can't shake the fog like you used to. Over time, those daily spikes and crashes wear down your body's ability to regulate insulin, and insulin resistance is a major step toward type 2 diabetes, even in people who think they're eating healthy. I remember speaking with a woman named Linda, age 68. She told me she always made her breakfast with care, plain oats, a splash of skim milk, and just a touch of brown sugar. But by 10:30 a.m., she was always fighting sleep and craving toast. Her doctor suggested removing that one ingredient, the sugar. Within a week, her energy evened out. I never thought it was the sugar, she told me. It was just a spoonful, but it changed everything. What makes sugar especially tricky is that it doesn't just affect your blood, it affects your brain. That dopamine rush, the feel-good hit, is why you find yourself craving more sweetness later in the day. It's not a matter of willpower, it's chemistry, and your brain is just trying to stay in balance. But here's the good news, you don't have to give up on flavor. If you still want that hint of sweetness in your oatmeal, try adding a few slices of ripe banana, a dash of cinnamon, or even a splash of vanilla extract. These offer natural, gentle flavor without sending your blood sugar into chaos. It's not about fear, it's about clarity. When your breakfast supports steady energy and balanced blood sugar, your entire day flows better. And sometimes a small change like skipping that one spoonful can be the most powerful one of all. You've been doing your best, making smart choices, eating healthier, trying to take care of the body that's carried you this far. So it might be hard to hear this, but that warm, comforting bowl of oatmeal you eat every morning, it could quietly be working against you. Not the oats themselves, they're great. It's what you're adding in that could be the real problem. Toppings that seem innocent or even healthy can spike your blood sugar, wear down your liver, and stress your heart without you ever realizing it. After 60, your body changes in ways no label or commercial warns you about. Your digestion slows, your insulin becomes more sensitive, and those tiny choices, one scoop here, one drizzle there, can quietly add up to big health consequences. But here's the good news, with a few small changes, your oatmeal can go back to being the heart-healthy meal you meant it to be. So stay with me. In this video we're breaking down 7 common add-ins that older adults should avoid and what to use instead. Be surprised by what's on the list. Before we begin, I'd love to know what city are you watching from. Type it in the comments below. And if you find this helpful, don't forget to like the video, share it with a friend who needs to hear this, and subscribe for more gentle, age-wise advice designed just for you. I remember speaking with a woman named Linda, age 68. She told me she always made her breakfast with care, plain oats, a splash of skim milk, and just a touch of brown sugar. But by 10:30 a.m., she was always fighting sleep and craving toast. Her doctor suggested removing that one ingredient, the sugar. Within a week, her energy evened out. I never thought it was the sugar, she told me. It was just a spoonful, but it changed everything. What makes sugar especially tricky is that it doesn't just affect your blood, it affects your brain. That dopamine rush, the feel-good hit, is why you find yourself craving more sweetness later in the day. It's not a matter of willpower, it's chemistry, and your brain is just trying to stay in balance. Artificial sweeteners, low calorie, high risk. If you've switched to artificial sweeteners to be smart about sugar, you're not alone. Many older adults make that choice with the best intentions, trying to watch their blood sugar, cut calories, and keep things under control. But what if I told you that those tiny pink, yellow, or blue packets might be quietly doing more harm than good? Artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin may not raise your blood sugar immediately, but they confuse your body in deeper ways. Your brain tastes sweetness and expects energy, but when that energy doesn't come, your metabolism gets thrown off. That mismatch can lead to stronger cravings, slower digestion, and even weight gain, especially around the belly. And here's where it gets more serious. Many of these sweeteners are processed through the liver, just like medications. For someone over 60, your liver is already working overtime, handling prescriptions, detoxifying the body, and managing the natural effects of aging. When you add artificial compounds every single day, your liver can quietly become overloaded, even if your blood sugar looks okay. I once met a gentleman named Harold, age 74. He was a retired teacher who used sugar-free sweeteners in everything: his oatmeal, his coffee, even homemade salad dressings. He believed it was the healthiest choice. 3. Dried fruits, nature's candy, but not for your liver. They look so small, so innocent. A few raisins here, a handful of dried cranberries there. After all, they're fruit, right? And fruit is healthy, or at least that's what we've always believed. But here's the part most people over 60 don't realize. Dried fruits are nature's candy, and for your liver, that's not always a good thing. When fruit is dried, it loses its water. What's left behind is a concentrated dose of natural sugar, mostly fructose. And fructose doesn't get processed like other sugars. Your muscles and brain can't use it directly. Instead, your liver has to handle nearly all of it. And when you eat dried fruits regularly, thinking you're making a smart choice, you may be overloading your liver without even knowing it. This is especially concerning for older adults, whose livers are already dealing with decades of medications, environmental toxins, and the natural slowing that comes with age. Add high fructose dried fruit into the mix, and the risk of fatty liver disease goes up, even if you've never touched a drop of alcohol in your life. Take Eleanor, 69, a retired librarian from Wisconsin. Every morning, she topped her oatmeal with dried apricots and prunes. It felt wholesome, comforting. But she noticed a tight, bloated feeling afterward. Her doctor eventually discovered elevated liver markers, and when they reviewed her diet, dried fruit was one of the first things they changed. After switching to fresh blueberries and apple slices, Eleanor told me, "I never knew something so small could be making me feel so heavy." Another hidden issue: portion size. Dried fruit is so light, it's easy to overeat. Just 2 tablespoons of dried cranberries can have more than 20 grams of sugar, often with added syrup to keep them soft and sweet. Even the unsweetened ones are still sugar-dense. But there's good news: you don't have to give up flavor or texture. Fresh fruit gives you the natural sweetness your body craves, but with water, fiber, and antioxidants to help slow the absorption of sugar and ease the burden on your liver. A few apple slices, a handful of fresh berries, or half a banana can go a long way. As we age, the goal isn't to fear food, it's to understand it better. Your liver has worked hard for you. Now's the time to work smarter for it, one mindful bowl at a time. 4. Flavored oatmeal packets. The hidden sodium trap. They're convenient, they're quick, they promise comfort and health in a tidy little pouch. Just tear, pour, and stir. For many older adults, flavored oatmeal packets feel like the perfect breakfast. especially if you live alone or don't want to fuss over the stove. But here's what those friendly little packets don't tell you on the front label. They can be loaded with sodium, artificial flavorings, and chemical preservatives that quietly chip away at your health, especially after 60. Let's talk about the salt first. One flavored packet can contain up to 300 milligrams of sodium. That might not sound like much until you add the milk, the butter, the bread later at lunch, or the canned soup at dinner. It stacks up fast. And if you're already managing high blood pressure, heart issues, or kidney concerns, that hidden salt can push your body past its safe limits without any warning signs until it's too late. Then there are the additives. Most flavored oats don't actually get their maple or apple cinnamon taste from real maple syrup or fresh fruit. Instead, they use artificial flavorings, colorants, and thickeners designed to mimic the real thing. These chemicals might seem harmless in small amounts, but when consumed daily, especially by an aging body already dealing with medications and slower filtration, they add up. They place extra strain on your liver, kidneys, and immune system, increasing inflammation and that general sense of feeling puffy or sluggish. Doris, age 73, shared her story with me recently. She had been eating flavored oatmeal every morning, sometimes even twice a day. It felt healthy, she said. I thought I was doing something good for myself. But over time, she noticed her fingers were swelling, her rings didn't fit, and her blood pressure crept up. Her doctor advised switching to plain rolled oats with fresh fruit and cinnamon. Within a few weeks, her swelling eased and her numbers improved. The truth is, flavored oatmeal is more about marketing than nourishment. Phrases like heart healthy or made with whole grains may sound reassuring, but they don't mention the 9 extra ingredients you can't pronounce. If you want real comfort and health, go back to the basics. Start with plain rolled oats or steel-cut oats, then add your own fruit, spices, or a drizzle of almond milk. It takes just a few extra minutes, and your body will thank you for years to come. But during a routine checkup, his liver enzymes were slightly elevated. His doctor suggested cutting back on artificial additives. Within a month, Harold's labs improved, and he told me, I thought I was helping myself. Turns out, I was just giving my body another job it didn't need. Artificial sweeteners might save a few calories on paper, but they often cost more in terms of gut health, metabolism, and long-term liver strain. And because their effects are subtle, most people don't realize the connection until symptoms appear: fatigue, bloating, sluggish digestion. So, what's a better path? Flavor your oatmeal naturally. Try a sprinkle of cinnamon, a pinch of nutmeg, or even a few chopped apples or blueberries. These offer real nutrients, real fiber, and real sweetness without sending confusing signals to your body. Remember, your body has carried you through decades of life. It doesn't need tricks. It needs support, clarity, and real food that works with your biology, not against it. And when you start your day that way, everything else just feels a little easier. 6. Store-bought granola crunch. That comes at a cost. Crunchy, golden, and sprinkled with promises, store-bought granola looks like the perfect healthy topping. It sounds wholesome. It's got oats, it's got nuts, maybe a little honey. What could be wrong with that? But the truth is, most commercial granola is closer to dessert than health food, especially for older adults trying to manage blood sugar, weight, or heart health. To get that satisfying crunch and long shelf life, granola is often baked with added sugars and oils like canola, soybean, or even partially hydrogenated oils. These oils may seem harmless, but they can quietly fuel inflammation, raise cholesterol, and contribute to fatigue and joint stiffness. And the sugars, even the ones labeled as natural, like honey or brown rice syrup, still spike your blood sugar. Just the same. Then there's the portion trap. The label says a serving is just a few tablespoons, but most people pour far more than that, thinking they're adding a sprinkle, when in fact they're piling on hundreds of hidden calories and dozens of grams of carbs and fat. Marsha, 71, from Arizona, shared her story with me. She loved her morning oats with a handful of heart-healthy granola. It was my treat, she said. But she started noticing afternoon crashes, creeping belly fat, and spikes in her blood sugar. Her doctor pointed to the granola. When she swapped it for raw walnuts and pumpkin seeds, her energy returned and so did her waistline. I thought I was being good, she said. Turns out I was overdoing it without knowing. This happens more often than you'd think. Granola has a health halo. It sounds pure, but most store brands are more about flavor and shelf appeal than your well-being. And for a body over 60, that's already working harder to regulate hormones, blood sugar, and metabolism. That extra sugar and oil load is more than just a crunchy topping, it's a burden. Here's the better way. For us, if you love a bit of crunch in your oatmeal, go for the real stuff. Raw or lightly toasted nuts, sunflower or chia seeds, or unsweetened coconut flakes offer texture and taste with healthy fats, fiber, and nutrients your body knows how to use. You don't need to sacrifice flavor, you just need to pick ingredients that work with your body, not against it. Your oatmeal should support your day, not sabotage it, one crunchy bite at a time. But here's the beautiful truth. You don't need any of these to enjoy a flavorful, satisfying bowl of oatmeal. Real food, simple ingredients, like fresh fruit, cinnamon, raw nuts, or a splash of unsweetened almond milk, can give your body the nourishment it recognizes, the kind that supports your heart, your energy, your digestion, and your peace of mind. It's not about giving up taste, it's about making gentler, smarter choices, ones that honor the body that's carried you through a lifetime. I remember a man named Raymond, 82, who once told me, "I don't need food to impress me anymore. I just want it to help me feel good." And isn't that what we all want? So I'd love to hear from you. Which one of these 7 ingredients have you been using, and which one are you ready to let go of? Drop a comment below. Your story might be the encouragement someone else needs today. And if this video helped you, please like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who deserves to feel their best too. Because small changes made with love and awareness can ripple through your whole day and your whole life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. By now you've seen that oatmeal itself isn't the enemy. In fact, it can be one of the most nourishing, grounding breakfasts you can enjoy, especially in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. But as we've uncovered today, it's what you mix in that can quietly shift that bowl from helpful to harmful. Let's quickly review the 7 ingredients we talked about. 1. Brown sugar, a small scoop that can spike your insulin and leave you drained. 2. Artificial sweeteners, low in calories but high in confusion for your gut and liver. 3. Dried fruits, nature's candy that overwhelms your liver with concentrated fructose. 4. Flavored oatmeal packets, convenient, yes, but loaded with sodium and additives. 5. Non-dairy creamers, marketed as light but filled with trans fats and chemicals. 6. Store-bought granola, a crunchy trap baked in oils and sugars that sneak past your awareness. 7. Protein powders, meant to help, but often taxing for aging kidneys and filled with synthetic junk. Protein powders, extra stress for aging kidneys. You've probably heard it before, you need more protein as you age. And it's true, protein helps maintain muscle strength and energy. But not all protein is created equal. And when it comes in the form of powders, especially the highly processed kinds, it may be doing more harm than good. Many commercial protein powders are packed with artificial sweeteners, chemical thickeners, flavor enhancers, and preservatives. They promise convenience and nutrition, but your body, especially over 60, may not see it that way. As we age, our kidneys naturally begin to slow. They've spent decades filtering out toxins, waste, medications, and everything else life throws at them. When you add excess protein, especially the kind your body can't fully use, it puts added pressure on these already hard-working organs. That protein has to go somewhere, and often it's your kidneys doing the heavy lifting. I remember talking with George, 78, a retired firefighter from Michigan. Every morning, he stirred a scoop of protein powder into his oatmeal. He'd read online that it would help him maintain muscle. But over time, his energy dipped, his appetite faded, and his doctor noticed a rise in kidney markers. After looking closer at his diet, they realized he was getting more protein than his body could process, especially from low-quality powder. Once he replaced it with eggs, a side of Greek yogurt, or a few almonds, his kidney numbers stabilized. "I didn't realize I was overdoing it," he said. "I thought more meant better." That's the trap. We're told to boost protein, but too much of the wrong kind can backfire, especially when your metabolism and filtration systems aren't as fast as they once were. And worse, most powders come with hidden ingredients your body has to detox. Artificial flavors, gums, emulsifiers, all of which your liver and kidneys must filter. So, what's the better choice? Stick to real food. A spoonful of plain Greek yogurt, a couple of hard-boiled eggs, or a small handful of nuts gives your body protein it can recognize, break down, and use without the synthetic extras. Your body still knows how to build strength, but now it asks that you feed it with clarity, not clutter. Let your protein come from the earth, not a lab. Because at this stage of life, the most powerful fuel is often the most simple. 5. Non-dairy creamers, creamy texture, hidden trans fats. It's that little scoop you add for a smoother, creamier bowl of oatmeal, or maybe a splash in your coffee. It feels harmless. In fact, non-dairy creamers are marketed as convenient, cholesterol-free, and lighter than real cream. But here's what's rarely said out loud. Most non-dairy creamers are anything but light on your body, especially if you're over 60. Many powdered and liquid creamers are made with hydrogenated oils, a source of trans fats, the kind that raises your LDL cholesterol and lowers your HDL good cholesterol. That's a dangerous double hit, particularly for older adults who are already managing heart health, blood pressure or cholesterol levels. And the concern doesn't stop there. These creamers are often filled with emulsifiers, artificial flavors, and chemical thickeners that mimic the richness of real cream but offer zero real nourishment. Instead, they become one more burden for your liver and kidneys to filter day after day. Over time, this constant low-grade stress can contribute to inflammation, digestive issues, and even cognitive fatigue. I once spoke with Frank, 75, a retired mechanic from Ohio, who loved his powdered creamer. "I used it in everything," he told me. "My coffee, my oatmeal, even my soups. It just made things taste better." But Frank began experiencing digestive discomfort, and his annual checkup revealed elevated cholesterol and liver enzymes. His doctor gently suggested eliminating the creamer. 2 months later, his labs improved, and so did his energy. "I thought it was just powder," he said. "I didn't know it was messing with everything else." That's the tricky part. Non-dairy creamers don't look harmful, but their impact builds quietly, especially when used daily. And because they don't cause immediate symptoms, many people don't realize the damage until it shows up in lab results or worse. So what can you do instead? If you want creaminess in your oatmeal, try unsweetened almond milk, oat milk, or even a spoonful of plain yogurt if your body handles dairy well. A splash of real organic cream can also be a gentler choice, one with actual nutrients and none of the synthetic baggage. At this stage of life, it's not just about what tastes good, It's about what treats your body kindly. Your heart, liver and kidneys have carried you for decades. Choosing cleaner options is how you start giving a little love back.